Coach, this is Brent Carlson from Ankeny High School in Ankeny, Iowa. Our topic today is talking about building a championship culture. And as everybody wants to do from a coaching perspective, is to focus on winning and ultimately winning a championship. But what we have found here in Ankeny is talking more about the culture, talking more about our system, talking more about how to get buy-in from players has been just a huge focus and I think attention to detail that we've been blessed to achieve. And so we're going to continue to work through that as we work into the future. But the whole point for us is talking about what we have here on the board is this concept of RACE, R-A-C-E. So we have rejecting passivity, accepting responsibility, living courageously, and expect a greater reward. That's a framework that I took from Northwestern College, North City, Iowa many years ago. Just talking more about a personal growth, but now kind of recreating that for our players and trying to make sure they understand that it's an individual concept, but also a team concept that we're trying to do. And I think, again, when you're talking to your players about winning championships, we have to get to the day-to-day processes of that. And I think this concept for us really helps us understand what are passivities in our life that we struggle with, whether it's fear, whether it's pressure, anger. You can name any emotion you like that kind of bring down your ability to be successful. And so we do a lot of work addressing that with each of our players and trying to get them to understand that there's a bigger purpose with our program, a bigger purpose in their life, and we can work through a lot of those passivities. The second part is just a really accepting responsibility, the role that you're given, make that role the best that you possibly can. But that also transcends again into their life as far as the responsibilities that they have in as being a great son, a brother, whatever the issue may be, but also a great teammate. And so we really stress the responsibility aspect, and we expect our players to do that on a consistent basis on the floor and off the floor. Thirdly, just living courageously. I think many times in sport, there is a lot of pressure to perform. But if we can get our players to be courageous and confident and tough in those moments, we feel like our players have really proven themselves in big moments to be successful. And then lastly, when you're able to do those first three things, we feel strongly that you can expect great things to happen, and you can really have an optimistic approach to your game, optimistic approach to your life, and optimistic approach to just your day-to-day processes. And we again feel that culture that we have brought here to Ankeny, the kids have bought into that at a very high level, and they're just challenging each other, embracing roles, encouraging one another, and it's just a positive environment to be in. And I don't think there's any question that without that process and culture that we have been able to establish, our players would not have been able to accomplish the 2020 state championship here in the state of Iowa at the 4A level. And again, that's been a 4-year process, many players coming before those players, and just trying to really connect generations, I guess, in a sense of player, to understand that we're all a part of this together. And what we do next year is the same process that we go through every year to continue to build that culture and to build that positive environment that we want our kids to be a part of. Coaches, next we're going to show some video of our system and just things that we do to build two different things, pace and precision in our drills. And I think what you'll notice about our players is there's different age groups. We have freshman through senior on the court, and just watching how they go about their business I think has been really impressive to me, and how we've been able to get young people to buy in, and then as they continue to grow older, they're teaching the younger kids. And so for us, I think pace and precision are the two words we use a lot, trying to build that consistency of play. And so we have some drills that we're going to show, and I'll show on the board really quickly a few of them, and then as you're able to connect that and watch. Again, if it's something that you can use, that's what our goal would be. Obviously, we don't expect to be or feel like we're experts in anything, but we feel like this has worked really well for us, and if it can work well for you, we certainly would be happy to help you in that way. But our first couple drills are pace drills and things that we use a lot just to kind of build confidence in our players. The first drill that we have is called just a simple swing pass and shoot drill, and we just set 4 stations essentially in our offensive zone, and we're starting the ball in the corner, and we're working on our passing precision. we're working to pass to the outside hand, we're working on the catch and ripping through and bringing the pass to all the players here in the offensive zone, finishing with a shot in the corner. We work really hard on our players' feet, choppy feet before they catch, into a little hop step before on the catch, and then a release of the shot. And we really preach shooting the catch versus catch and shoot. We want to be quicker in our preparation so that the shot can be quicker versus telling kids to shoot fast. So this drill has a variety of things. We work on the three-point shot, and then we work on some moves to the basket. We work on some drives to the middle, and we work what we call Dwayne Wades, where we do some hop throughs, we do some spin backs, and then we start working a little bit further into our offense, where we get some baseline penetration, and now we're going to kick to the corner, and then we're going to one more to a shot. And then we also reverse that, where we pass here to the wing first with a one more back to the corner. And so again, we work this on different sides, but in this drill specifically, you'll see it work just the one side. But we're hopeful that you notice the guys are talking a lot. We're constantly yelling one more when the receiving passes to let attackers and passers know where they're at. So we really believe on sharing the basketball here in Ankeny, and this is a great drill that we use to work on pace. Coaches, the next couple drills that you'll notice that we do to develop pace is into our full court game. We call this ISU and Kentucky drills. The ISU drill, you have some people positioned here toward half court. You'll have a runner starting here with an outlet person, and then you'll have your outlet lines up into here. And so essentially we're just going to throw a long outlet, and this young man is sprinting for the layup. And we're going to attack this and throw a chest pass for the layup. And what we have found with this drill is just working on full speed sprinting, catching and scoring, but also now working on that full court pass, being able to get an outlet. We have all positions work on this. And again, just works on passing accuracy while moving. And then we have the rebound here occurs, and we're going to go ahead and outlet it here. The passer here is sprinting after his pass. He becomes the new sprinter, and we're going the other direction with that. And obviously on this outlet here, we're dribbling across, and we throw our cross-court pass. So again, for us, it doesn't matter the level. We can work on sprinting and receiving passes. We can work on sharp outlets, sharp passes cross-court. Just again, working on pace, building speed within our game, because the more we can build speed in practice, we feel like we can play that way in games. the last drill we show for our pace drill is called Kentucky layups. I at least call it Kentucky layups. And John Calipari had this drill we saw here a year or so ago, where he's just really trying to emphasize the speed of his players and also the toughness of his players. And so what you'll see is we'll have a line of 4 or 5 players on each side. We're working on right-hand layups right now. We obviously work on left-hand layups too. But the goal is 4 dribbles or less, if you can, to get all the way for your layup. I don't believe our kids can get to 4 yet. They're not college athletes yet, but the whole point is they're going to really try to push the ball out in front of them as they're dribbling in for their full court layup. We make sure our line of players are on the same side as the layup, so as he clears space, we can rebound out of the net, and now we're going the other direction with that. So Kentucky layups, again, has been a great drill for us. Shape drill, builds pace, builds confidence, and as our guys are encouraging each other too, we're just trying to emphasize competing because we have this line going against this line for the layup drill. Try to get perfection with our layups, but pace. It's all about speed. Push the ball in front of you. Ready, set, go. Push the ball. Push downward. Push downward. Push down. Push down. Push down. More dribbles, ideally. Come on, speed. We wanted to talk a little bit about precision in our offense and just really in our system in general. We do what we just call drive and kick drill. That's a very simple drill that we add a lot of things to as we move along the process of the year. We also add things depending on age group and things like that. And we just really try to emphasize our offensive spacing here. And when we say precision, we talk a lot about their feet, their hand placement, their location, all the things that they need to be able to do in a game that we don't want them thinking about. We do this on a daily basis, a variety of this drill. But you'll notice our players doing a lot of driving, and we really emphasize north and south toward the basket. I know a lot of drills can emphasize drive and kick and all that, but we want to make sure our offensive players understand I am getting north and south to the rim, and we want to jump stop as we imagine drawing the defense to us, and we're going to kick corner. And we do this on both sides of the court, working on the different angles to the rim that we have. So a lot of our point guards and our 4 men are in these positions, and they're always constantly looking to drive and attack and draw defense, and then we're going to go ahead and kick the corner. And you'll notice a variety of things that we do, from handoffs to driving cross court, kicking opposite, to just a lot of different verbiage too, whether it's one more, to cover, to wake, to shout. You'll hear all these words. These are just words that we use for our guys to work on different cuts and angles and communication with each other, because we really want players to be in tune with each other. Does our corner guy understand how this person here likes to drive? Does this person here understand what this person likes for the shot and where they want to catch the ball? We really want our players to have some freedom, but also have an understanding with each other. So this precision drill, great for the feet, great for attack angles, great for shooting, great for precision as far as how we want our offense to go. And maybe you're a dribble drive focus offense as well. And if this drill would be helpful to you, we'd be honored with that. But again, we just call this a drive and kick drill. And again, there's tons of different options you can do as it relates to where the ball starts and how you work the players together. lastly here, from the board perspective of just 3 drills that we do every day in practice that are kind of just, I would say, more fundamental based, but also help us build into some of the pace and precision drills that we do. You'll notice we start off with some basic dribbling technique drills, and we work from a baseline to free throw line as far as just that distance. And we work 2 ball a lot of times, 1 ball depending on the situation. And we just have a series that we go through, and everybody has these types of series. But I really believe that if you teach the same dribbling concepts to all of your kids all the way through, by the time they're in high school, this is second nature. You know, many kids anymore aren't going off on their own and working on their ball handling skills. And so we feel like we can utilize these types of things, from crossovers to in and outs, to in and out crossovers, using between the legs, behind the back, all the things that we would want our point guards to be able to do on a consistent basis, we challenge our 5 men to do. And I feel like the game is transitioning so much to perimeter that it's important for us to utilize these dribble skills for our players. The next fundamental drill we have is just a movement passing drill, one that we kind of just made up. We just kind of feel that we can make passing a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more game realistic when we do that. So our drill, we have all of our players in line here, but as we work these 2, we work on defensive slides down the court. We really want to be better defensively in moving our feet. You'll constantly hear coaches yell, and the kids yell too, but we want to keep our feet apart. We don't like those feet on defensive slides coming together at any point in time. So we try to stay on the balls of our feet. We try to keep that imaginary stick between our knees. We're trying to really work our feet down the court while passing. And so if you hear it on film, the players are yelling each other's name, and we're doing either chest pass, bounce pass, overhead pass, and we're just really working on the defensive slide. So they're literally working a full court drill. We'll do 3 or 4 or 5 up and backs with this. Good for shape, good for building endurance, but also good on communication and doing multiple things at once. And so again, this is just a 2-person full court passing drill, working on different fundamentals. We add in layups and some different things later on because we have some specific rules on when to use a bounce pass or chest pass, especially thinking from a fast break perspective. But again, this has been a great drill for us. We have really seen an improvement in our passing decision making just from the basics of this, and we're seeing much better fundamental improvement in our program. Even if you went slower for speed, better for feet overhead now. Pause. Run. That's it. Back. That's it. Right. Like. Good. Coaches, the last drill I'll show as far as what we do on a daily basis from daily skills perspective is a simple shell drill. And I know everybody in the plant does this. And there's nothing specific, or I would say special, that we're trying to accomplish other than the fact that we really want our players to communicate loudly. That's probably the biggest emphasis with this drill. And so, you know, we start with the coach with the ball here below, and we're going to throw out to different areas, at corner, whatever the situation is. But if we do throw to the corner, we want choppy feet and high hands. So we work a ton on long and short closeouts, choppy feet and 2 hands high. The big thing for us is emphasizing where we want the ball to go. And so we really focus on each specific individual and the location that they're in, and then what are they doing as far as where are they pushing the ball, whether that's to the corner or to the middle, to a teammate, whatever the situation is. And we yell 3 specific things depending on where the ball is. So we'll just do one. If the ball is right here, we're yelling ball 3 times. Very simple stuff, but we want that to be really, really loud. High hands, choppy feet, and we yell ball 3 times really quickly. Next person is trying to get into a position where he can see both players about halfway in between, and he's yelling the words deny 3 times. Again, really emphasizing that. The backside defense for us, our word for weak side is alley. We're trying to make sure both of these players in this position are yelling that word 3 times. We want confidence in our defenders, specific defenders on the ball. We want to make sure that they know they have people behind them. We have a lot more confidence in our one-on-one defense when we have defenders behind them communicating loudly. And so we just work a lot on ball position. The ball is swinging on the perimeter, and guys are chopping their feet, jumping to the ball, getting in a proper position, and yelling their position out 3 times. This has been very, very positive for us in improving our communication on defense. I think that's one of the biggest things coaches complain about is our kids never talk enough. If you don't emphasize it, that means you're not promoting it. It's not going to work. So for us, we are promoting it. We are expecting it. And this is a daily thing that we do at all levels. We want to make sure they understand those 3 words: ball, alley, and deny. Coaches, I just want to finish up this segment. Again, appreciate your time today. Just talking a little bit about 2 things. Really, K-12 buy-in. How do you get K-12 buy-in to your championship culture? And ultimately, the belief aspect of players in for themselves, in each other, and for the program. You know, for us, I think as coaches, we really emphasize the positive encouragement on a daily basis. We really believe that if we speak confidence into players, they're going to respond in kind. And I really believe that we have to be models for the expectations that you want your kids to have. If we talk to our kids about being good in character, yet they see a lack of character in us, it's really hard for them to connect that dot. And so for me, belief and speaking into your players, but speaking into them with the emphasis of what you want them to be able to achieve in life, is something we need to try to do. And every single day we try to put a quote on the board for practice that our kids are responsible for, so that they can continue to resonate. Hey, what are we talking about today? Yes, we want to be winners and champions and all these things, but what are we talking about from a life perspective that can be positive things that they can take with them? So a lot of quotes that we utilize. As you're looking into K-12 buy-in for your players, I think your off-season summer is so crucial when you're running your summer camps, having your high school kids involved in those camps, interacting with kids, getting to know their name, and really showing an interest. I think that's where older kids really miss out sometimes, is are they showing an interest or are they just present? And that's something we really want our older players to do. Are they investing in the life of that young person when they're at that camp helping out? And I just think as we continue to build great actions and attitudes, we find that we're increasing the habits, the positive habits of our players. And so when we see our younger kids in camp, every year as they get older, we're seeing them acting and behaving and playing in a way that we want them to be able to play by the time they're in 8th grade and that by the time they're representing Ankeny schools here. So that's something we really try to do. So essentially for us, whatever you accept in your program, you're promoting. You know, so we really focus hard on working on their behavior, their language, how are they talking and acting in school and out of school in the community. One of our assistant coaches does a great job of saying, hey, you're constantly representing your family, our program, and ultimately our community every day when you're out in our public. So we have a great coaching staff here that understands young people and understands about impacting their life with character-given qualities. And so again, lastly, just the daily habits. What are you trying to instill into your players? What do you accept from them? What are you promoting? What is your culture? What is your scheme? All those different things play into a championship mentality. And I think at the end of the day, championships are not won just on championship night. Championships are won really on the day-to-day processes that starts day one in your program. Whether you've been coaching at a place for 20 years or you're coming new into a program, I think you have to really come into an understanding of what do you want. Are you willing to put in the time and work and effort to get all young people to start acting and behaving in a way that you need and want them to, and ultimately creating great habits that start off the court, ultimately work to on the court, and ultimately when you have a team of talented young people that have the character and behavior that you want and the habits that they have attained, you're going to have an opportunity to win that championship that we all desire to be a part of. So thank you for your time today. It's been an honor to talk with you, and we're really proud of our program and really thankful for the young people and in our program and the support that our families and our community give us on a daily basis.